Have you ever wondered why some people seem to keep moving forward, no matter what life throws at them, while others remain stuck in the same place for years? The truth is, progress is not reserved for the lucky, the talented, or the wealthy. It belongs to those who decide every single day that they will not let circumstances define them. The real question is not whether life will challenge you, but whether you will rise above it with consistent, deliberate action. Every step, no matter how small, carries the power to reshape your future, and once you understand this, you'll realize that your destiny is not written by fate. It's written by the choices you make today. Progress is not about giant leaps that happen overnight. It's about small, intentional steps that compound into transformation. Think about it. A tree doesn't grow tall in a single season, yet, with time, sunlight, and consistent nourishment, it becomes unshakable. Same is true for your life. Every action you take, no matter how small, is like a seed planted in the soil of your future. Some days you may not see the results, but they're happening. Just because progress is invisible in the moment doesn't mean it isn't real. The hidden work you do in silence eventually shouts loudly in your results. The reason so many people fail to move forward is because they expect instant change. They want results without the process, victory without sacrifice, success without struggle. But progress doesn't work that way. Progress requires patience, discipline, and above all, persistence. The road to growth is not smooth. It is filled with resistance, but resistance is not your enemy. It's the very thing that builds your strength. A muscle does not grow without weight, and your character cannot grow without challenge. If you shift your perspective and begin to see obstacles not as setbacks, but as opportunities to become stronger, you will never remain the same again. Ask yourself, what would your life look like 1 year from now if you committed to even the smallest daily improvement? Imagine if, instead of wasting time on distractions, you invested in yourself, reading a few pages of a book, exercising for just 20 minutes, practicing gratitude, or building that skill you've been postponing. It may not feel significant today, but 1 year of small, consistent actions could completely transform your health, your finances, your mindset, and even your relationships. You don't need to do everything at once. You just need to do something every day. That is the secret to unstoppable progress. The reward for embracing this truth is life-changing. When you decide that no excuse, no setback, and no obstacle will stop you from taking at least one step forward every day, you unlock a power most people will never experience. You will discover confidence you never knew you had, because confidence doesn't come from wishing, it comes from doing. You will start to attract opportunities because the world responds to action, not intention. And most importantly, you will finally feel the momentum that has been missing in your life. That unstoppable drive that makes you wake up each morning with purpose and excitement for what lies ahead. Stay with me until the end, because if you truly absorb what you're about to hear, you will walk away with more than just motivation. You will walk away with a roadmap to take control of your life. Every moment you invest in this message will bring you closer to becoming the person you were always meant to be. The world is waiting for your progress, and it all starts with the decision you make today. The greatest enemy of progress is not failure. It is the excuses we tell ourselves to justify inaction. Excuses feel comfortable because they protect us from the discomfort of growth. But that comfort is a trap. Every time you say, "I'll start tomorrow," you push your dreams one step further away. Tomorrow is not promised, and waiting for the perfect moment only ensures that the moment never arrives. The truth is, there will never be a day without challenges, without responsibilities, without something pulling at your attention. If you want progress, you must learn to act now, in the midst of imperfection, in the face of resistance, because the person who waits for ideal conditions will wait forever. Discipline is the bridge between the life you have and the life you want. It is not built in a single day. It is forged through daily decisions that require courage. Waking up when your body wants to stay in bed, working on your goals when distractions scream louder, saying no to what is easy so you can say yes to what is necessary. These moments of choice determine your future. Discipline is not about punishment. It is about freedom. Freedom from regret. Freedom from the weight of unfulfilled potential. Freedom from the pain of wishing you had tried harder. When you train yourself to follow through regardless of how you feel, you begin to rewrite your identity. You no longer see yourself as someone who it tries, but as someone who it does. That shift alone is powerful enough to transform your destiny. The mind will fight against discipline. It will whisper reasons to delay, to give up, to take it easy. But you must remember, the mind seeks comfort while the soul craves growth. If you let the voice of comfort win, you suffocate your own potential. Growth requires choosing the harder path, the one that stretches you beyond your limits. And the beauty is, each time you push beyond what you thought you could handle, you expand those limits. What once seemed impossible becomes manageable. What once scared you becomes familiar. And that is how ordinary people achieve extraordinary results. Not through rare talent, but through relentless discipline. Momentum is born in small victories. Each time you choose action over excuse, you strengthen your confidence. Each time you keep a promise to yourself, you build trust in your own word. Confidence is not about arrogance. It is about knowing that you can rely on yourself when it matters. And when you reach that point, fear no longer controls you. Procrastination no longer enslaves you. Distractions lose their power over you because you have proven to yourself that no matter how difficult the path, you will not stop walking it. Think of the countless dreams buried in graveyards, not because people lacked potential, but because they allowed excuses to suffocate their fire. The opportunity of life is too short to waste on hesitation. Every moment you hesitate is a moment you never get back. If you truly value your future, you must guard your time with the same intensity as you would guard your most precious treasure. Because that is what it is. Time is the currency of life, and how you spend it determines the richness of your legacy. The reward of building daily discipline is greater than any temporary pleasure an excuse can offer. It is the satisfaction of knowing that you are moving forward, that no matter what storms come, you are progressing. It is the strength of character that allows you to face life with resilience. It is the unstoppable momentum that carries you further than you ever thought possible. And most importantly, it is the peace of knowing that you are living fully, without holding back, without wasting the gift of this life. So ask yourself right now, will you let excuses define your story, or will you rise with discipline and write a story worth remembering? The choice is yours, and the power is in your hands today. Progress is not about doing everything at once. It is about creating a system so simple and consistent that failure becomes almost impossible. Big goals can feel overwhelming. They sit in your mind like towering mountains, making you wonder if you'll ever have the strength to climb them. But the secret to reaching the summit is not in one giant leap. It's in taking small, steady steps every single day. Those steps may seem insignificant at first, but over time, they create unstoppable momentum. Imagine dropping a single drop of water on a stone every day. At first, it seems powerless. Yet over time, that gentle persistence carves into the rock itself. That is the power of daily systems, unyielding progress born from steady repetition. When you rely on motivation alone, you set yourself up for inconsistency. Motivation is like a spark. It burns bright, but it doesn't last. Systems, however, are like engines. They keep moving even when the fire feels weak. A system is a daily plan that removes guesswork, eliminates decision fatigue, and locks you into action regardless of mood. If you create a morning routine that prioritizes your goals, you don't need to ask, should I work today? You simply follow the system. The less your progress depends on how you feel, the more unstoppable you become. Think about athletes at the highest level. Do they always feel like training? Absolutely not. But they have systems. They have schedules that don't care about their feelings. That's why they succeed when others quit, exceed when others quit. The difference between those who make progress and those who remain tolerant still care. The moment you build a system around your goals, you create conditions where progress is automatic. And when progress is automatic, results are inevitable. Systems also protect you on your worst days. Life will always throw challenges your way, fatigue, stress, setbacks, unexpected responsibilities. If your progress depends on perfect conditions, it will collapse when life gets messy. But if you have a system, you'll keep moving forward even in the storm. Even if you can't give 100%, your system ensures you still give something. And something repeated consistently is infinitely better than nothing. That small effort keeps momentum alive and prevents you from falling into the trap of starting over. The key is simplicity. Complex systems collapse because they demand too much energy. Your system should be so clear and easy to follow that even on your weakest days, you can still do it. For example, if your goal is fitness, your system might be wake up, drink water, do 15 minutes of movement. It doesn't sound grand, but compounds. Over time, those 15 minutes turn into strength, endurance, and confidence. If your goal is learning, your system could be read 10 pages a day or listen to 15 minutes of an audiobook. Day by day, those pages add up to entire libraries. Pages add up to entire libraries. The results may not come overnight, but they will come. And when they do, they will be unstoppable. The most powerful part of a system is how it reshapes your identity. When you follow a daily structure, you stop asking, am I capable? And start saying, this is who I am. You are no longer someone trying to be disciplined. You become discipline itself. You are no longer someone chasing growth. You embody growth. And once that identity locks in, progress becomes natural. You no longer fight with yourself. You align with yourself. So the real question is not whether you can achieve your goals. The real question is whether you are willing to build the daily system that makes achieving them inevitable. Because with the right system, even on your weakest days, you still move forward. And forward, no matter how small, always leads to victory. Measuring progress is one of the most underestimated forces in human motivation. When you can see how far you've come, it awakens a fire to keep going, no matter how tough the journey feels. The problem is, most people don't track their progress. They work, they struggle, and they push forward, but because they never pause to measure, they fail to notice the quiet victories along the way. Without those visible signs, the mind begins to believe the lie that nothing is happening. That's why so many give up too soon, not because progress isn't real, but because they failed to see it. The human brain craves evidence of growth. It thrives when it sees patterns of success. Think of it like fuel for persistence. Each small win signals to your mind, you're moving forward. You're not stuck. That reassurance gives you the courage to keep showing up. When you track your progress, even the smallest gains become proof that you're on the right path. And when you celebrate those gains, you turn them into emotional rewards that wire your brain for consistency. It's not just about discipline, it's about chemistry. Recognition releases dopamine, the brain's a reward chemical. Each time you acknowledge progress, you reinforce the habit and make it harder to quit. Celebration doesn't need to be grand. It could be as simple as pausing at the end of the day to say, I kept my promise to myself today. It could be journaling a few sentences about what you achieved or crossing off a task on a calendar. These small moments matter more than people realize. Because when progress becomes visible, it becomes addictive. You begin to crave that feeling of forward motion, and the more you crave it, the more consistent you become. But there's a second dimension. Celebrating progress changes your perception of struggle. Without recognition, hard work feels like endless suffering. With recognition, the same effort transforms into pride. Suddenly, the sweat, the time, the sacrifices, they all feel meaningful because you can see the fruits of your labor. That shift in perspective is what keeps people moving when others stop to consider this. Your journey is no different. If you only wait for the finish line, you will drain yourself before you ever arrive. But if you learn to celebrate the journey, you will never run out of strength to continue. The trap to avoid is comparison. Measuring progress is about your growth, not someone else's. If you constantly compare your chapter 2 with someone else's chapter 20, you will rob yourself of joy and sabotage your progress. The only measurement that matters is, are you further today than you were yesterday? Are you growing in the right direction? If the answer is yes, then you are winning. The speed doesn't matter. Progress, no matter how small, is victory. Here's the truth. Success is not about giant leaps. It is about steady, consistent movement. Measuring and celebrating makes that movement visible. And when it is visible, it becomes real, not just in your mind, but in your spirit. It's how you build faith in yourself. It's how you keep your heart alive when the results feel slow. Because no matter how far the destination may be, the evidence of progress reminds you, you are not who you used to be. You are evolving. And once you start to honor that evolution, you will notice something powerful. The journey itself becomes rewarding. Progress is no longer just about the end goal. It's about the person you're becoming every day. And that realization will give you the strength to keep moving. Even when the road feels long, failure is not the end of progress. It is often the very soil where the deepest growth takes root. The mistake most people make is believing that setbacks erase their efforts, when in truth, setbacks are signs that they are stretching beyond comfort, venturing into territory where real change happens. If everything always went smoothly, there would be no strength built, no resilience developed, and no character formed. The pressure you feel in failure is the same pressure that forges steel. It doesn't break you. Think about it. Every great success story is littered with moments of defeat, disappointment, and rejection. What separates those who rise from those who quit isn't talent, luck, or even resources. It's the ability to see failure as feedback instead of finality. When you fail, life is not saying, a stop. Life is whispering, adjust. Failure is simply a teacher, and like all good teachers, it repeats the lesson until you learn it. Each mistake contains a hidden instruction, but only the humble and the courageous will take the time to extract it. The key is not to ask, why me? But to ask, what is this teaching me? That single shift turns pain into wisdom and weakness into strength. Every obstacle is an invitation to rise higher, to think differently, to sharpen your approach. When you begin to view problems as pathways rather than prison walls, you unlock a power within yourself that cannot be shaken by temporary defeat. And let's be honest, failure hurts. It wounds pride. It stirs doubt. It makes you question your worth. But pain has a purpose. Just as the body grows stronger through resistance, the spirit grows stronger through trials. Without struggle, you would never discover what you're truly capable of. Without disappointment, you would never develop the patience that sustains long-term success. Every scar you carry is evidence that you survived what once threatened to stop you. Every scar is proof that you're still standing, still fighting, still becoming. There's a powerful truth most people overlook. Failure is progress disguised in a different uniform. It doesn't look like success. It doesn't feel like success. But hidden inside it are the exact lessons that prepare you for greater victories. Think of it this way. Failure is not a wall. It is a doorway. Most walk away when they see the door locked, but the wise search for the key. Those keys are hidden in the lessons of persistence, creativity, and courage. The question is not whether you will fail. The question is whether you will rise again. Every fall presents a choice. Stay down and accept defeat, or stand up and turn that fall into fuel. Every setback is a test of your vision. How badly do you want the dream? If the fire inside of you is stronger than the failure outside of you, nothing can stop your progress. So remember this. Failure does not define you. What defines you is how you respond. You can let failure make you bitter, or you can let it make you better. You can let it crush your confidence, or you can let it carve your character. The choice is always yours. And if you choose to rise, every failure becomes a stepping stone that carries you closer to the life you were meant to live. So the next time life knocks you down, don't see it as the end. See it as the beginning of a new chapter. A chapter where you rise stronger, think wiser, and walk with a fire that no setback can extinguish. Because failure is not the opposite of progress, it is a vital part of it. And those who embrace it will always move forward, no matter what stands in their way. Discipline is the bridge between desire and achievement. You can dream big, you can set goals, you can even visualize your future. But without discipline, everything remains in the realm of imagination. Discipline is the daily act of saying yes to what you want most, even when your feelings scream to give in to what you want now. It rises and falls like the wind, shifting with moods and circumstances. Discipline, however, is steady. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't depend on excitement or excitement or excitement. And excitement is built on decision, on commitment, unwavering choice to show up every single day, no matter what. And here's the truth. The more disciplined you become, the freer you actually are. Because when you master yourself, you stop being controlled by impulses, distractions, or excuses. Now think about progress like a staircase. Your breakthrough is closer than you think. When you combine discipline with belief, you become unstoppable. Discipline gives you the structure. Belief gives you the fire. Together they form a force that can cut through fear, resistance, and doubt. You begin to see challenges not as barriers, but as proof that you are on the right path. Every obstacle becomes evidence that your growth is real. Every setback becomes fuel for your comeback. So hold on to this truth. Progress begins in your mind before it shows up in your life. Believe that you are capable. Believe that your daily effort matters. Believe that your destiny is bigger than your struggle. And when you live from that belief, every day becomes a step forward. No matter how small, no matter how difficult, progress is not a single leap. It is the compound effect of choices so small, they almost feel invisible. One push-up today, one extra page read, one phone call made, one decision to resist the easy way. On their own, they look insignificant. But over time, they stack, they multiply, they transform. What looks small today becomes powerful tomorrow because consistency is what turns actions into habits and habits into destiny. Most people quit because they underestimate the power of small beginnings. They think changing has to matter. But greatness has always been built brick by brick, one steady layer at a time. The person who commits to small progress every day will always outgrow the one who waits for perfect conditions. Perfection paralyzes, but progress liberates. Think of a seed. You place it in the ground, and for weeks you see nothing. No movement, no evidence that life exists beneath the soil. But beneath the surface, roots are forming, strength is building, and a foundation is being created. The same is true for you. Even when your efforts feel unseen, even when no one applauds, your consistency is laying down roots that will one day break through the surface in undeniable results. The challenge is to trust the process. Trust the small step matters. Trust that effort compounds even when progress feels invisible. Every day you show up, you're not just doing the task. You're building an identity. You're telling yourself, this is who I am now. I am someone who grows, who fights, who moves forward. That belief, combined with action, creates unstoppable momentum. And once momentum takes over, everything changes. What felt heavy starts to feel natural. What once required discipline now flows effortlessly. The energy of forward motion begins to pull you, rather than you having to push yourself. This is the secret. The great achievers understand. Success is not about sudden breakthroughs, but about building unstoppable momentum through steady progress. So don't despise the small steps. Don't underestimate the quiet victories. They are shaping your character, sharpening your focus, and preparing you for moments bigger than you can imagine. The progress you make today, no matter how small, is proof that you are moving forward. And when you keep stacking those days, you become a force that nothing can stop. Resilience is the invisible engine behind daily progress. Life will challenge you. It will throw obstacles, disappointments, and moments that test your resolve. Succeed are not exempt from struggle. They're simply equipped to respond differently. Resilience is what allows you to face adversity without losing momentum. It is the ability to bend without breaking, to absorb setbacks and convert them into fuel for growth. Every time you are knocked down, you have a choice. Stay down and let the moment define you, or rise and let it refine you. The difference between these two paths is everything. Resilience does not erase pain or difficulty. It transforms it into a stepping stone. Each setback, each failure, each moment of discomfort is an opportunity to practice strength, patience, and determination. Over time, these repeated acts of resilience accumulate into a character that cannot be deterred by circumstance. Think of progress like climbing a mountain. The path is rarely smooth. Rocks, storms, and fatigue are constant companions. But the climber who keeps putting one foot in front of the other, who adjusts to obstacles instead of giving in, eventually reaches the summit. Resilience is what keeps your feet moving when the trail feels impossible. It is what allows you to see challenges not as dead ends, but as lessons shaping your journey. Resilience is built through repetition. Each time you overcome a difficulty, no matter how small, your confidence grows. You learn that you can survive discomfort, that you can adapt, that you can continue moving forward even when the world seems to push back. And when you cultivate resilience, fear loses its grip. You stop asking, "Can I handle this?" and start asserting, "I will handle this." The mindset shift alone propels you toward unstoppable progress. Stoppable progress is that it compounds just like action and discipline. Each time you face difficulty and choose to keep going, you strengthen your ability to face future challenges. Obstacles that once seemed insurmountable become manageable. The more you practice resilience, the more natural it becomes to stay consistent, to keep showing up, to make progress every single day. And here's the profound truth. Your journey is never wasted. Never wasted even when progress feels slow. Resilience ensures that every effort counts, every act of persistence, every moment of courage, every choice to rise instead of retreat is building your foundation for lasting achievement. It is the quiet force that turns small daily actions into extraordinary results over time. So embrace resilience. See setbacks as part of the process, not the end of it. Trust that every challenge is training you for the life you are destined to live. And when you cultivate this mindset, no obstacle can stop you from making progress day after day until your dreams become your reality. Focus is the hidden multiplier of progress. You can work hard every day, but if your energy is scattered across too many directions, results become diluted. True progress comes from concentrating on the few actions that matter most and giving them your full attention. Focus turns effort into results. It transforms busy work into meaningful achievement. Distractions are everywhere. Phones, social media, endless tasks, and even the constant noise of your own thoughts. The average person allows these distractions to fragment their energy, chasing multiple goals at once and achieving little. But when you learn to focus, you reclaim your power. You decide what deserves your attention, and you pour your energy there until mastery is inevitable. Focus is not about doing more. It is about doing what truly moves the needle. Prioritization goes hand in hand with focus. Every day, ask yourself, what one action will bring me closest to my goal today? What is the highest leverage task that will compound over time? By consistently prioritizing the actions that matter most, you ensure that every day contributes meaningfully to your vision. Even when life gets chaotic, focus and prioritization keep you moving in the right direction. Think about a laser beam. Scatter the light, and it warms nothing. Concentrate it, and it can cut through steel. Your energy works the same way. Focused, intentional effort has the power to transform your life. Diffused, unfocused effort accomplishes little. Discipline without focus is like rowing a boat in circles. Motion exists, but progress does not. Focus directs the energy of your discipline toward measurable results. The rewards of mastering focus are immense. You begin to accomplish more in hours than most do in days. You see progress faster, which feeds motivation and strengthens belief in yourself. The clarity of purpose also reduces anxiety and mental clutter, because you're no longer reacting to every distraction. Instead, you move with intention, confidence, and precision. Remember, focus is a habit, not a gift. Every day, train yourself to eliminate distractions, to dedicate blocks of time to high-value actions, and to protect your mental energy like the precious resource it is. Over time, this consistent practice compounds, just like discipline and resilience, creating unstoppable momentum toward your goals. So take control of your attention. Decide where your energy matters most. Prioritize relentlessly. And watch as focused effort transforms daily action into extraordinary results that accumulate faster than you ever imagined.